Clock in, clock in. Black Gotta just walked in.
Bring my bread right now. Bring my money, nigga. Bring my bread right now. Don't be late. Bring my bread right now. Bring my money, nigga. Bring my bread right now. Why they hate? Ese es culo para atrás. Better that's all right now. Bring my bread right now. Bring my money, nigga. Bring my bread right now.
Team Black Gotta stand up, man. Yo, King Von is one of the first rappers that I heard of that passed away and they still throwing charges at him. Like usually when people pass away, they just get their condolences and stuff like that, funerals and stuff like that, and be like, rest up. But this man, only thing you've been hearing about him ever since he passed is the fact that he done put so many folks in that body bag. That's crazy. But on a real note, the question is, if King Von was still here, there would be a lot of charges. Not only he would have to be facing, but Durk would have to be facing them charges too. Now I know y'all just peeped Durk just out of nowhere beat the charge he had. Don't know how he beat it. He just beat it. You feel what I'm saying? They threw it out the window. He's straight now. He ain't even gotta worry about them charges. Because the prosecutors feel like they would have been charging Von anyways. Durk would have been in the clear the whole time. Matter of fact, he wouldn't have been in the clear. He would have had to at least tell. So now they got nobody for Durk to tell on. So they just like, we weren't gonna charge you anyway, fam. You straight. We just gonna drop it. But let's take a look at this video, bro, of all the charges King Von would have if he was still here.
Lil Durk just scored a huge win after getting his attempted murder charge dropped. But the DA said his homie King Von would have been booked for the same shooting if he was still alive. And that's not the only court case Von would be facing if he didn't die in 2020. Today, we're breaking down all the bodies he allegedly caught and which charges he only avoided because Lil Tim took him out before the courts did. Earlier this week, the Fulton County...
That sounds crazy to say. Somebody took you out before the court. And my nigga, does this mic say alive? Ain't no way.
The DA's office announced that they were dropping their case against Durk. They put out a statement saying, the facts of this case have been reviewed, and although it appears that probable cause existed for the defendant's arrest, the decision of the district attorney at this time is not to prosecute. Back in 2019, Durk and Von were booked after they allegedly robbed and shot a dude named Alexander Weatherspoon in Atlanta. According to police reports, they had an argument with Weatherspoon outside a cigar lounge, and at some point, shots started popping off. A bullet went into Weatherspoon's leg and hit his artery, but he survived after he was rushed to the hospital. According to the cops, Durk and Von knew Weatherspoon had $30K in cash on him, and that's why they robbed him. And during a hearing, a detective on the case said Durk was the shooter. He said he had video evidence showing Lil Durk's arm out the window, firing several shots at the victim.
You see Mr. Banks' arm out the window firing several shots at the victim, towards the victim.
When the news...
Why he was shooting like that? He was shooting with all four of his fingers. He petty. What type of gun he had? But he had some type of alien type gun. How he shooting that bit like this? He using all four fingers?
Several shots at the victim, towards the victim.
When the news...
That's crazy.
News broke that Durk was wanted, he flew straight back to Atlanta to turn himself in. Before he actually went to the cops, he told Channel 2 Action News,
we found out we had a warrant. We was actually on tour. Once I heard, I immediately came back because I have nothing to hide. Like, I have nothing to run from.
On the same day Durk went back to Atlanta to be arrested, he dropped the track, Turn Myself In, and rapped, look up at the judge, can't look, state making up lies for sure. I'm an innocent man for sure, it is what it is for sure. Nobody gonna ride, had a warrant so I can't hide. India gonna stay by my side, I did a song with Chance tonight. He giving positive vibes to better my image for life. I turn myself in tonight, head down with these cuffs on, just read me my rights. Luckily, Durk beat the case and don't have to worry about getting booked. But we couldn't say the same for Von if he was still around. The Atlanta DA would still be trying to charge him with attempted murder, and the cops in Chicago have 3 murders they think Von is responsible for.
Boy, they just own Von top, boy. At this moment, like, they were just at Von's top for real, for real.
The first murder charge they allegedly had on Von was for the death of a dude from SLEBT named Modell. Back in October 2012, Modell was walking down the street with his cousin Miles when somebody started letting off shots. Modell and Miles both got hit, and Modell later died from a chest shot. Miles was a high school football player who wasn't involved in the streets, but he got caught up in the situation because of Modell's affiliation with STL-EBT. Luckily, he survived the shooting, but it changed his life forever. He was hit 5 times and was kept in medically induced coma for weeks, and after he woke up, he couldn't walk anymore. The cops originally thought Von's homie, T-Roy, was behind the hit, but according to a leaked report, now they think that Von was the shooter. Rumors say Von and T-Roy were both there when Modell was killed, and the day after he was shot, Von tweeted, "Me and T-Roy got a problem. We just can't stop doing our thingy thing and all that." Malcolm Stuckey was
I ain't gonna lie, it was a point in time where Chicago was tripping with them tweets. Like, they would real deal go catch a body, bro, and go slap on Twitter and say we up the score. They were dead ass telling on themselves left and right, fam. It didn't make no sense.
a college basketball player who was going to his friend's birthday party. Von was at the same party, but he spotted some ops and left. He came back later with a dude named Big Mike, and that's when the situation turns up. According to Big Mike's police testimony, the ops saw him and Von and started letting off shots while they ran away. Von and Mike started shooting too, and Von yelled, "Why you running?" Big Mike hit one of the ops in the jaw, and Von caught one in the foot. But Malcolm Stuckey was tragically caught in the crossfire and killed. The police brought Big Mike in for questioning, and he snitched on Von and told him everything. He agreed to testify in court in exchange for a light sentence, but then he changed his mind and refused to cooperate. Big Mike's testimony was the biggest piece of evidence against Von, so when he decided not to take the stand, the court had to drop his case. Instead, they put the whole thing on Big Mike and sentenced him to 28 years.
Boy, that was on his ass. Boy, he switched his story real quick, but he could have been capping though the whole time. He just wanted that cigarette at the moment, probably.
Von also allegedly shot a dude from Charles City named P5. According to rumors, Von, J Money, and T-Roy ran up on P5 and shot him over 15 times. And while Von was locked up for Malcolm Stuckey's death, a female shooter from STL-EBT named K.I. allegedly clapped back and killed J Money. This leads to another case Von will be fighting right now for the murder of K.I. She was an infamous killer who allegedly helped set off the war between STL-EBT and O-Block when she took out a dude named O.D. Perry. K.I. was close friends with a 15-year-old GD named Tuka, who was allegedly killed by the BDs in 2011. After he died, K.I. allegedly slid into op territory and killed O.D. for revenge. She became one of O-Block's biggest ops, and allegedly...
Nigga, that's a girl? Oh, that's a boy. Out the trouble, that's a boy.
Ops, and allegedly even tried to take out T-Roy's sister. Von and K.I. had a weird relationship where they would flirt on social media one day, then send death threats the next. Von even admitted that he had a crush on K.I., but they were still ops, and he allegedly ended up killing her. On April 11th, 2014,
Well, obviously, not only did he want to literally hit his op, you feel what I'm saying? Not only did he want to bend that shit over, he also wanted to hit her with that iron. Boy, you have a weird love relationship, boy, with your ops, boy. That's crazy.
K.I., her brother FBG Butter, and another friend were walking to their homie FBG Wooski's house. K.I. dropped her location on social media, which turned out to be a deadly mistake. The ops saw where K.I. posted her location, and they used the opportunity to pull up and take her out. According to leaked reports, witnesses related that the victims were at the location of 6451 South Eberhard Drive, at which time an unknown male, one wearing a gray hoodie and blue jeans, approached the victims. The unknown offender then produced a handgun and began firing in the direction of the victims, striking all three. The police brought Von in for questioning after K.I. was killed, and according to paperwork, he gave 2 different alibis. But even though his statement was suspicious, the DA decided not to prosecute because they didn't have enough evidence. Rumors were flying that Von was responsible for K.I.'s murder after it went down, but it wasn't until last year that the police confirmed he was the lead suspect. Von was never booked for K.I.'s murder, but leaked documents show that the cops were trying to tie the Modell case to hers and use the evidence to convict him for both shootings. The document says it was determined that if/when the Cook County State's Attorney charged Bennett, Von, with the murder of Barnes, K.I., attempts will be made to re-interview the potential witnesses in the McCambry-Modell case. It was hoped that their cooperation would be more forthcoming if Bennett was in custody and charged with first-degree murder. The hope was that the witnesses' fear of retaliation would be lessened if Bennett was charged and in custody. But before the cops could finish the investigation, Vaughn was shot and killed in Atlanta. It's not clear how much evidence they really had against him, but it's not easy to beat 3 different murders and an attempted murder case too. What's interesting about the situation was how some of Vaughn's ops hinted at his involvement with Modell and P5's murders. P5 also went by the name Crack, and after Vaughn died, his brother wrote, "We caught 2, we ain't get the last one. I know Crack mad, and the gang ain't get his." And his cousin wrote, "Y'all just don't know how much I prayed for this day. Hashtag King Crack." Then Billionaire Black posted a photo of Modell on his IG story after Vaughn died. Vaughn clowned the ops for Modell and P5's deaths while he was alive, and it looks like he was really behind the hits. Fans are still upset about his death, but Charleston White says people shouldn't be celebrating a dude who allegedly killed so many people. Charleston White is a YouTuber who used to be in the streets, and he told DJ Academics,
King Von was known to be a killer, a man who killed black people, a man who was accused of killing a black girl. He's celebrated, right? You got celebrities who take pictures in front of his mural. What about his victims' family?
When Axe said Vaughn's death was unfortunate, White clapped back and said,
that idol. That idol is a demon, a self-proclaimed demon. I don't ride with demons. What about these victims over here who nobody's shining the light on? So when I look at King Von's circumstance, I don't say it's unfortunate. I say that was a man that worked hard to die.
King Von was a talented artist who was on his way to the top of the game, but he also had strong ties to the streets. It's not clear how many murders he was really involved in, but if he was alive today, there's a good chance he would be locked up. And even if he had a violent past, nobody should be celebrating death, no matter who the victim is. Hopefully the families of his alleged victims can find closure and move on, and Durk can keep Von's legacy as an artist alive with his own music. Rest in peace to everyone who lost their lives in this tragic story.
That was wild. I'm pretty sure I got the same thing I got out of that. It's either they was after King Von so bad to the fact that they'll do anything to pin anything on him, or that boy was a real live demon, baby. That boy was real deal, slinging so much iron. I'm pretty sure everybody in his hood had creases in their jeans. Ain't no way in heck all of these situations was revolved around his name. He was actually having fun doing this, bro. That was actually a thing in they hood. You feel what I'm saying? Boy, that energy you carry around you, boy, is very serious, bro. Because obviously the situation he went through could have been prevented. But if it didn't happen, would he be facing a lot of time with these charges they tried to put on him? That'd be crazy. My nigga, would even Durk be in the club if that situation didn't happen? I don't know, bro. I'm confused. Let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment below, though. I'm not doing that. Clock out, Black Gaddy. Just walked out.